What do you mean you didn't like this episode?
Nothing happened.
But Star Wars happened. Quintessential Star Wars happened.
What does that mean to you? Like, what do you think happened?
Space politics. Callbacks to characters that we love.
So seeing C-3PO just be there is enough.
They mentioned Leia. We saw Anakin again. Ahsoka came back in this episode.
Ahsoka was in the series called Ahsoka.
We got every character. We got the most characters this episode.
We got the most legacy characters, yes.
But just everybody. Everybody got screen time in this episode. Thrawn, Ahsoka, Balin, Hu Yang, Sabine, Ezra, the Red Witch, Mon Mothma,
Mon Mothma.
Ewan McGregor's wife.
Yes, I'm realizing I have very little to say about this episode, so it's like I'm finding it hard to even argue with you.
You can't argue because I'm right.
But that's what I don't like. The fact that I care so little about what I just saw. That, like, you're like, we saw C-3PO. I'm like,
yeah. He had a little belly. Do you know what? He had a belly.
It was weird seeing him look up.
He was doing this the whole time.
Yeah. Mans could have just, like, stared forward, but instead he was like...
I like how they put, like, a couple of red and green cables across his black morph suit.
I want to know why it looked worse.
To hide the guy's belly.
It definitely looked worse.
Do you think it's because this is in, like, 4K?
Yeah, it could be 4K, or it could be, like, TV, or it could be, like, a better lit scene than, like, maybe there's more shadows. I don't know. I'll throw up some comparisons and see what it looks like.
C-3PO is back. He mentions Leia.
What I'll give you is we did have what we wanted the other week, where Ahsoka was actually training. Like, Ahsoka isn't just sitting around listening to fairy tales anymore.
And, like, having a nap.
We do get Anakin again. I liked this implementation of Anakin a lot more.
As just a hologram?
Yeah. Like, the hologram, the CRT lines kind of hide a bit of the old age.
Do you reckon they can just do that
lines
whenever
hide
now?
the lines.
Like, just like whenever she needs, like, a wise word to get her through, like, whatever her current trial and tribulation is, they're just going to be like, oh, I have this holotape of Master where he's like...
Well, what was strange was
he's like,
when she came up, I literally said, why does she have holograms of Anakin? And then in the next line, she's like, he made 20 of these. And I'm like, what?
I love how every time we had a question in this episode, it was, I think we're getting closer to our destination. And I was like, hold up, how does he know they're getting close to the destination? And then he's like, I ascertained this because of our speed. And I was like, God damn it.
It's like they're slowing down.
Yeah.
It's like Dave Filoni's like did viewings of it, and every time someone said a comment, he's like, I'm right a line. But Ahsoka did stuff and things.
We had combat in this episode.
So I guess you view the lot of fighting and battles as woo, whereas I'm just like,
very nice. I like Star Wars. It's good.
It was very much the new Indiana Jones movie. It's just kind of like they talk for a second and then set piece. They talk for a second and then set piece.
Yeah.
And they were doing that to fill time. I feel like the chase of Ezra on the flat plane in the slow-moving vehicles. That was...
There's no universe where, like, that was dumb.
Well,
I'll give you that.
I guess it was like animals versus slow-moving caravans was what they were like imagining, but like everyone was just moving so slowly, and Sabine just refused to shoot one of the dogs. So like all the dogs are running by, and Sabine is just like missing the person, and like there's a big honking dog.
She formed a connection with her dog in the last episode, and also she's not that kind of person.
Have you never seen War? She is more than okay with murder. She did many of them.
Not in this show, she isn't, and that's all that I'm basing my opinion on this character on.
Speaking of murders, her stabbing a guy through the chest and that killing him, you reckon she had a flashback to like, shit, maybe he survived that?
He didn't have plot armor on.
His armor was made of the wrong material.
Correct.
It was dragon.
Well, it's a different galaxy.
It's made of worse car instead of best car.
Oh no, I like how they're in a completely different galaxy, except it's just the exact same.
It changes fucking nothing.
Nothing. There's a small race who's on the exact same like technological level as everybody else.
Yeah, they still have hover vehicles. It's not like they're an animal.
They're more advanced than the Ewoks.
They don't only use magic. It's just they just straight up have like they have hover cars still.
Yeah. Oh god, you don't want to do that.
You like this thing. Remember, there's action.
Oh, sorry.
No, leave me alone.
Help me.
Ahsoka comes out of hyperspace inside of a whale. And Mime scene. And what happens is there's mines everywhere that weren't there.
A lot of mines.
So many mines that weren't there less than 3 days ago. They filled the whole thing with mines, just assuming Ahsoka was coming, and they did it very quickly.
So quickly.
And they probably could have kept those mines.
And there was
for later.
a lot of mines. Where did these mines come from?
But the only reason they had to do this was because they needed time, like the story needed Ahsoka to arrive, but the story had already wasted time with her to give her a little bit of a spirit walk.
Yeah.
So then Thrawn had to do something that would take time, like load a bunch of MacGuffins into his own ship that has been on that planet already.
That's a really good point.
So why were they not already there? She survives the mines because they're not very good mines, I guess.
They're they're tracking mines.
Yeah, but the whales take some of the heat and then the whales leave.
Hu Yang, fine with animal abuse.
He's like,
thank God they're there to take some of the
like
stuff
when you're getting harpooned and they would just keep hitting whales and you're like, haha, thanks, whales.
Imagine they said that in Avatar, The Way of Water. Like Jake Sully was like, he's like, at least they're not shooting us.
They go to hide in the field, but they send more fighters after them, more dogfighters. There's a lot more than there were in episode 3, which was the last time we saw them. Yeah. But whatever. Who cares?
They were just in the hangars, okay?
Yeah, I guess. And then, but they come after her. And at least this small fight scene is in like an asteroid field, so it's at least mildly interesting. I thought it would be more interesting because they would be actually like there'd be a way to tell how quickly they're going and like things in the way.
Yeah.
But turns out it's so smoggy you can't see anything, so Ahsoka just has to use the Force.
I thought it'd be a lot more like first Death Star kind of run where they are using all their technology to get through, and it does kind of like hint at that a little bit where like you see a guy's like targeting computer thing.
Yeah.
It's all like the squares that just move and don't show anything on there. And I was like hoping she would like just like kind of close her eyes a little bit and guide them through. But maybe she did do that and it just wasn't like shown that well.
She was too busy like reefing on those control sticks.
Like this?
Yeah. That's how
I'm Ahsoka driving the...
Ahsoka flies like crazy.
Well, you don't see, she's actually pedaling the ship as well.
There's also little feet on the rudders.
It's like a Da Vinci flying machine.
She's pedaling like a Flintstone.
Yeah, the minefield was the greatest problem and the easiest problem like to fix.
Yeah, it was like nothing can come near this giant minefield.
Like, oh, thank God we're out of here. It's like, oh, okay.
So would those mines have just like blown up Republic cruisers like super easily?
Because they can't. Because her ship is small and agile, and it can also do this.
It didn't kill any of the whales. What I'm saying is like, would it have destroyed a ship immediately? But the whales were too strong?
I guess, but shields are also a thing.
Yeah. So would the mines have done anything? Also, it's a
cool.
planet. Just go around a bit. Like, space is really big. I don't think Ahsoka gets hit once.
No.
Like, she's in the minefield a bit, so like, sure. But then she goes to land on the planet where she finds Sabine is, and she's getting shot at by multiple fighters, and none of them hit her.
There's not even like a comment from Hu Yang like, we can't take much more of this.
Yeah, and then she jumps out to like go help, and Hu Yang flies off by himself, and they still don't hit him. Like it's just a Jedi droid now, and he doesn't get hit even once. It's insanity. Again, they just wanted her on the planet, but they wanted to do the other stuff, so they're just like as loosely as possible connecting all these things. That's just lazy writing.
Oh, wait, I forgot I'm supposed to like this show. Positives about Ahsoka in this episode. She fights Balin, and she's like, I don't need to win.
Yeah, he's kicking the shit out of her again. Balin is a weird one in this episode. So a lot of people were saying like, oh, episode 6 set up what Balin's gonna do in the final 2. Balin doesn't do anything this episode.
I was really scared that it set him up just for Ahsoka to kill him in 1 second.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, what was the point of him? But still, at the moment, what is the point of him?
I didn't expect him to just let her run away, or like for her to just run away either. Like she just leaves. She's just like, nope, it's fine. She goes, and then Balin just kind of like stands there and he's like, ah, good. But she only fights him because where she jumps out of the ship, she just kind of ends up there.
Yeah, like because she wasn't. I don't think. And again, the Force is cloudy on this one. She wasn't like, there's Balin, I'm gonna jump out to land at him.
Nope, he was just there.
She jumps out and she gets up from her roll and he's like,
hello there. Yeah, they fight for like a second and it's fine, I guess. But there's no reason why. We kind of open on Ezra and Sabine.
Yeah, so it starts with them. They're on the road again.
I do like the actor for Ezra. I gotta say, he does act a lot like I think Ezra would act, except for the fact that Ezra sacrificed himself to get rid of Thrawn, and Thrawn is still alive and kicking, and now Thrawn has a way back to our galaxy to fuck everyone up. Like, Ezra does not seem even a little bit concerned. He decided at the end of Rebels to sacrifice himself, and now that has been made a moot point. Like, that doesn't matter anymore, because he's going to come back, bring the Empire back.
Yeah.
So in one foul swoop, Sabine has gotten rid of Ezra's sacrifice, Luke Skywalker's sacrifice, Anakin's sacrifice, all just done.
I think it's fine Ezra being how he is, but as soon as he heard
was
a way back,
yeah,
like, and specifically for a way back for Thrawn, not necessarily for them.
Thrawn and his whole witch army.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you'd think Ezra would at least know what Thrawn was planning, so he could tell Sabine and be like, oh no, this is bad because he's got an army of dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that could be bad. It's like, he just doesn't seem fussed.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird. Even to the point where he gets into a fight with a bunch of people and Sabine offers his lightsaber and he doesn't take said lightsaber because he wants to fight with only the Force.
I thought he was going for more like a pacifist thing.
Yeah, airbender, like he's not going to kill people.
Yeah.
But then he straight up shoots a guy in the face.
Yeah, he gets a
It's
blaster and he's like,
oh!
So I started blasting. And he just starts killing people. And I'm like, oh,
So there's no reason why he didn't take his lightsaber back. They
Mm.
could have easily won the fight with everyone. They didn't need to because of plot convenience. But they could have very easily beaten all those stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ezra gets real good by the end of Rebels. Sure, he's a little rusty, but he's probably still fantastic. They decide not to do that because of reasons. There's a lot of because of reasons in this episode.
Why did Balin leave?
A shin hottie.
Because reasons.
Yeah, because he's going to go do something, probably. That if we don't find out next episode, the man is not coming back for next season. If he goes this whole season without actually doing anything, that's insane. That means everyone goes this whole season without doing anything.
They found Thrawn and Ezra, though.
Say something good about Balin.
He has that one line that everyone's creaming about.
In this episode?
Yeah.
Impatience for victory will guarantee defeat.
So Sabine and Ezra get into a fight with a bunch of stormtroopers, kill some of them, and then Ahsoka rocks up and helps scare the rest away, and they all leave because Thrawn tells them to. And they kind of make it out like it's Thrawn had good reason.
Yeah.
But like, what?
Yeah, because all Thrawn wanted to do was for Ahsoka to waste time. Because they're gonna be done by the time they get there. Thrawn knows what he's doing. He's a strategic genius.
That would make sense to me, and I'd be okay with it if Thrawn couldn't have just easily killed Ezra years ago, killed Sabine super recently, and then Ahsoka would have come down to the planet, kill her too.
The fact that the witches have the ability, it's proven now
To like
they
find
can
anyone.
triangulate.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's a because reasons episode, and like the Night Sisters are working for Thrawn, but it would be okay if they had like their own ulterior motive. But we're seeing nothing from them, so like, why do they care?
They have an ulterior motive.
But what is it? Will I get to see it this
Hey,
season?
hey.
I'm never going to see
Hey.
anything.
Tune into season 2 and
That's
maybe
what
you'll
Balin
find
does
out.
this episode. Balin stands. Oh wait,
Looks
no, that's what he
handsome.
does every episode.
He looks like this.
He's an intense-looking man that does piss all in this show, and it sucks.
Ooh, favorite line from this episode when Ezra says, "I'm gonna round him up," and he says, "Woompa woompa." That was a good one.
I've been
cried. Quoting that all night.
Star Wars is back.
Star Wars is back, baby. We got the Senate.
We got Wumpa.
Oh wait, we don't
got
have,
Wumpa.
It wasn't Senate. We have
Court-martial meeting.
we have man yell at woman in courtroom until woman saves other woman.
Until metal
Man
robot
says woman said this was
said
okay.
woman was okay. And
we have
man go, oh dang.
We have Anakin Skywalker. We have space battles. We have hiding in an asteroid field. Hello, episode 5. Ever heard of it? We have a chase scene. We have a fight scene. We have the Force. We have lightsabers. We have the bad guy from the cartoon. Hello.
We do have a lot of Star Wars in this Star
Have
Wars.
I ticked off
guess.
enough boxes for you, nerd man?
Yeah, no, you are right. There are a lot of Star Wars things in this episode. So, like, yeah, she used one lightsaber last time. She uses 2 this time. Still can't win. And then
You think
just
she'd be twice as strong?
then just gallops away.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You'd think she'd use the smoke cover and Balin having to do like a commando roll
Well, that's
to
what
just run up and stab him.
That's what it
throw
looks
a
like.
lightsaber
He's
at him.
like ready to fight, and then it cuts to just
She's
Ahsoka
She's on that warg.
Ezra airbends his way through things, I guess.
He stops a lightsaber. That's pretty cool.
Him stopping the lightsaber is quite cool. But he could have just used his lightsaber.
Or he could have just killed her.
And then they let her get away.
Yeah, considering they can all technically kind of use the Force, or at least they could have just stopped her.
Just stopped her. Just stopped her from running away.
Or I would have
don't.
liked even Ezra using the Force to open a door on one of the ships and just like boonk and hit her in the head.
That would be cool.
I would have liked. Imagine his whole fight scene. He's like running in between the ships and he's using the Force to like do that kind of stuff. He's like kind of tricking Jackie Chan exactly. He's like opening doors or like making a rock fall on somebody.
They could have made him a pacifist.
Making them like bonk. That would have been cool. I would have liked that he hasn't fought since he got here and he's just like pacifying his way through life.
They make it out like Sabine spent an hour telling Ezra about everything that's happened.
Yeah.
She doesn't tell him how they got there. She leaves that out until we're watching them. They don't say what Ezra's been doing. The most important thing in our prediction video, I say that we should get like a whole episode devoted to Ezra and Thrawn and what they were doing. And we don't get anything. Like, we have no idea what Ezra's been up to or why he hasn't taken out Thrawn. Has Thrawn just been waiting?
I'm really scared that they're saving it for season 2.
I'm scared they're not going to say anything at all.
Yeah.
It's just going to be completely pointless.
It's interesting how everything and nothing happened in this episode.
A lot of things happen.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Spectacles even.
Yeah, like there's a lot of set pieces, but nothing actually happens because where they are at the beginning kind of ends up where they are at the end. Like, Shin gets into a fight, runs away, completely fine. Balin gets into a fight, runs away, is back to where he was. Thrawn sends a bunch of guys, they kill no one,
and
they run away. Oh my god, Thrawn wasted our time too.
Thrawn, Disney. I've already accomplished what I want. I've wasted their time.
The one thing we couldn't afford to use. Yeah. No, dead set. That's exactly what happened. They just wasted my time.
I missed my daughter's first birthday for this.
Even Thrawn admits it's a fucking waste. That's insanity. That's so funny. They literally told us they're wasting our time while wasting our time, which is rude.
Daniel, I think it's time for me to reveal my true dark side intentions to you.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Daniel, I've been acting this entire time. I never liked this episode.
You didn't like the Star Wars?
I didn't like this Star Wars.
But C-3PO.
Old Star Wars.
But they said Leia.
Isn't back.
But they said Leia. Was that not a layup?
Look, showing me a CRT and name dropping a character off screen does not a Star Wars make.
You don't like more Anakin?
A little bit of a courtroom drama, like it's an episode of Jag.
It wasn't even. It was just one guy telling.
It was one guy being like, "This is unacceptable. Send him to the penis evacuation chamber." You know,
aliens didn't talk again.
Look, the space battles were dog shit. The courtroom drama were dog shit.
It's only shit because there's one. So there's a bunch of bad ships. Yeah. There's only Ahsoka to shoot at. They never hit her.
Correct. So even when they're shooting with the big guns.
Yeah. It's just,
remember how much of a problem the big guns were in episode 3?
They also could have opened with the big guns, maybe. Like while she was flying through the minefield.
No, I think you said it perfectly when you said that things just happened just because. Why did it happen? Just because they had to.
And what you can say if you're a fanboy, such as yourself, why did something happen? Oh, they're setting up.
Dude, it's a setup episode.
So Balin can do something else.
Just like the last one was, and this one was
last
to
episode
the
was
nth
setting
degree.
Up this episode.